Hello folks, back on the Defender again to continue the strip down. Popped in yesterday and I took the hoses off the radiator, just tipped it up so I can drain out the rest of the coolant and oil out of the oil reservoir. I've also popped the ends of the hoses in, so I'm going to remove that, take some all the ancillaries off the engine today, try and remove the fuel tank, drain that, and if I get a chance as well, I want to drain the oil out of the gearbox and out of the engine. I've done a little bit of work on what I'm going to do with it now. I was initially just going to use a polishing wheel, wire wheel, to try and get as much of the rust off as I can, and dirt, but what I intend to do now is I'm going to strip it completely, remove the engine and box, bulkhead, leave the axles on so it's a rolling chassis, and I'm going to send it to be blasted. Got a really decent price off a guy around the corner from where I am. He's going to blast the chassis and I'll see exactly where I am, what repairs I get. The advantage of that is it saves me time, and also I don't fill the unit full of dust and crap, which I dare say will settle on everything else and pee a few people off. So that's the plan. So I'm going to make a start today on removing that and removing some more of the ancillaries and boxing them up. Also need to strip the sides off the roof skin and store them better, because they're pretty much in the way of everybody else's gear at the moment. So onwards and upwards. Right. So apologies for the lateness of this video as well going on. I forgot to mention it earlier. It's been absolutely Baltic up in the northeast, and it's, believe it or not, it's colder in here than it is outside. Currently inside it's 1 degree and it's due to freeze tonight. So what I've done is I've removed the radiator oil line, some of the ancillary hoses. I've disconnected the brake lines from the servo, and there's a reason why the brakes were so shit, because there was no fluid in them. So it's obviously been apart before and it's been cobbled together to be sold, which, you know, it's what it is. I'm not that bothered. But I've got the radiator in to cool off, and as you can see now how bad it is. It really is poor. But you know, I've got a new one of these. I've got some steel plates, so I've decided I'm going to pull everything out bar the axles, and then I've got a chap to blast it for me. I don't know whether I mentioned that before, but and then we'll see what I've got when it comes back. Fuel tank's out. It's absolutely knackered, and it was full of cherry diesel as well, which was you know, fair enough. That's the new fuel tank, exactly the same thing. So all I've got to do with that is take the fuel sender unit and pump out and put them, I'm going to put them into the tank and then just stow it with the rest of the gear. The roof's been stripped and it's been moved. I've still got to shift the tub. I've got the original build sheet for Land Rover, and it was actually a van before, so the windows that were in it have been added at a later date, and it was quite evident when I got the panels off that the centre reinforcing piece had been cut off to put the windows in. But I mean, it did a decent job. They weren't leaking, they don't rattle, so I am going to list them on eBay and get rid of them, because I have a new pair to go on. So yeah, I've got a price to get the chassis blasted, as I said, so I'm going to get that done. And I've also got a guy who's going to do dry ice blasting on the engine and the gearbox and transfer box, and I'll see what I'm left with there. I think there's a couple of gaskets to change, certainly the one on the top, you can see it's leaking from the gear lever, so it's having a little bit of a weep, so we'll get that sorted out. And it's definitely leaking from the rocket gasket, and it's quite pronounced. I think that's probably been taken off at some point and put back on, and it's just not sealing. But it's quite filthy, but we'll have a look, see what we got. The alternator, there's a guy around the corner who refurbs them and starter motors, so they'll be going there. and I'll just replace everything that needs replacing, steady away. I've already been spending money, so there's a upgraded set of discs, the drilled and grooved discs and pads for the front rear axles, including the full set of bearings. And at the bottom, well, in the middle of them too, there's a full clutch kit, which it made sense to, with the discount that I had, to get them all at the same time. What else? That's about it really, apart from the fact I've high diesel all over the floor, which adds a bit please around, but you know, it's what it is. So it wasn't done with any malice or intention, and neither was the fact that in that tub is a 10mm spanner that decided to just do a triple salt going straight into the tub and never hit anything on the way down, right pain in the bloody ass. That's the old door. As you can see, it is absolutely knacked, rotten. Big piece of it fell off the bottom when I took it off. The lock still works, so I'll whip that off because it'll go on the other door that I've got. You see, it's not just the bottom. The top's pretty rough as well. I've kept the hoses, even though I'll probably replace them. Any expansion tank and the power steering reservoir. So still quite a bit to do. Had a good tidy up. Hopefully I'll get another video out at the weekend. Try and get a few hours up here and get some more bits and pieces done. I definitely need a bulkhead. It's absolutely garbage. So if anybody knows a good place to get them that's not ridiculously expensive, I'm not bothered about having a galvanised one. I would rather get it and treat it myself. I've seen a few nightmares with the galvanised ones twisting, because obviously it's hot dip and it's only thin plate at the end of the day. So I'd rather have a bare metal one that I can treat myself and inject the pillars with a line of guard and what have you. So we'll go from there. Speak to you soon. Cheers, bye.